is for you and Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. In this video we are going to be using some of the new Makeup Geek holiday collection. They sent over 3 different products. So if you guys didn't know, Makeup Geek is coming out with eyelashes, and I didn't even know, but I saw Marlena make a tweet like, what are some of your favorite lashes, what do you like about them, you know, trying to get like an idea of styles and everything like that. And the first lashes that they came out with are like synthetic lashes, which personally I'm not a big fan of synthetic lashes anymore. Once I got a taste of the mink and foam mink lashes, like synthetic lashes aren't just my style. Like sometimes I'll wear them, but 9 times out of 10 I don't wear them. But these are the styles. This is the style Mischievous, which is like a more of a half lash. So either if you have really small eyes, or if you want to just have, you know, a nice little flare out in the outer corner, you put on mascara, really coat your lashes really well, and then pop on an outer lash, which will just kind of like add a little wisp but make them kind of look natural type of thing. And then we have the style Fearless, which is a little more full all the way across. And then the style Elegant, which is more so my speed if I'm going to wear a synthetic lash. It starts smaller in the inner corner and then it wisps out to a longer outer corner. Then you have Graceful, which are a little bit more light, fluffy, wispy type of lashes. And then the style Charmer, which is the most synthetic looking lash out of all of them. These are a little more thin, a little more natural, not as full, probably wouldn't be as hard to work with, but each lash retails for $6. Well, the retail price is $8, but they're selling them for $6. So this is the sale, and the Stroke of Midnight collection launched already. So this is already launched November 12th. I'm a couple days late. They also have blending sponges, which unfortunately they didn't send me the sponges, so I can't review those, but they do have the Healing Lip Glaze Trio. It says, glazes perfect for all occasions. Let bubbly, pink bubbly, sangria, and creamsicle delight create the perfect pout for any soiree. So these are on sale for $15, but this trio is originally $20. And once again, they're in the little smaller sizes, so easy to carry in the purse, pop in the purse, kind of get a feel for Makeup Geek's formula, how the lip gloss feels, tastes, smells, all that stuff before you buy like a full tube, because most of the time full tubes are usually the price of like the little mini trios. And then finally we have the Stroke of Midnight palette. Now y'all know I love me some Makeup Geek eyeshadows. If I don't use anything else from Makeup Geek, I use their blushes, their contour powders, and their eyeshadow palettes. But this is what the palette looks like. And it is really nice because it folds over, you get a mirror, and then you get 9 eyeshadows. And this is what the palette looks like. When I swatched these, you guys, so buttery, so creamy. Like, Makeup Geek, if they don't do anything correct, they make eyeshadows really well. Like, Makeup Geek is an eyeshadow brand that I will forever recommend, because their duochromes and their foiled eyeshadows are so freaking amazing. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so we have the shade, and the shade names are on the back. We have the, oh man, I always get confused. Okay, so we have Amore right here, which is like a peachy brown kind of shade. We get Magnifique, which is like a taupey brown, and then we get Amore. I think this is Amore. I might be wrong, but this is what it looks like. It's a white duochrome with pink reflects in it. It's actually really pretty. And then we get, oh, okay, I have them wrong. Okay, wait. Okay, so this is actually Soiree, because this is Insomnia. And then you get Elegance and Cocktail. So I'll swatch Insomnia, and oh my gosh, buttery right off the bat. This is one little swatch. that is like one of my favorite pigments. They used to make it in a pigment form, but they eventually ended up making it just into a duochrome pressed eyeshadows. They got rid of the pigment. I don't know why, but it was my favorite. And this is Elegance. Oh my gosh, so buttery. Oh, you guys, it just feels so good when I swatch it on my hand. Like once I rub into the pan, oh, it feels so good. And then I'm gonna go ahead and swatch what is this again? Cocktail, which is a matte. Y'all, Marlena knows how to formulate some eyeshadows. Now, the colors that I'm going to use today, I don't know, should I use Insomnia? Because I wanted to do the 2 olive greens to match my nails, so I could do like one of my little, and have it all matching. I think I might do that today, and then maybe next week do another look, or if not next week, it'll probably be the following week, because I do have my James Charles palette coming, and some of you guys have already said you want to see a palette series with it, so might do that next week. But let me swatch. This is Bubbly, Masquerade, and Nightfall. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch Bubbly. Ooh, so pretty. This is what is this one? Masquerade, and then we have Nightfall. Very, very, very pretty. Like, very pretty. And you can already see. Okay, so one of you guys asked like how to come up with like eyeshadow pairings. So when I look at this palette and I swatch the eyeshadows on my hand, I can already see that Cocktail and Nightfall, which are the 2 mattes, not including the top 2 mattes, are 2 primary crease shades. So when it comes to these, and it seems like she paired like a warmer shade for a crease shade, a transition shade, and then 2 darker shades, and then like a taupey shade. If you're a little bit lighter, can get away with wearing that shade for a crease shade. So she paired 2 transition shades and 2 crease shades with 5 lid shades. So when I look at this and I say, okay, Insomnia has a maroon berry undertone. That means that I can use this cocktail shade, this maroon shade. Then this, I think this was Soiree, is a white with a pink reflect, which means pink, so it's more in the berry family, so I could get away with using Cocktail once again. Then we have a rose gold, a true rose gold, that would pair beautifully with a maroon crease. So I place my transition shade, and then I would place the dark maroon into the crease, blend it out, and then I would pair one of these 3 shades with it on the lid. And that would be one complete look, just primarily based off of the undertones and the way that these eyeshadows look on the skin in comparison with the matte shade. Now, you can also pair it up with the berry, you can pair up with the olive greens if that is something that you would like. I personally like to pair up olive greens with maroons. I think they look really good together. But in the sense of this palette and the look that I would probably do today, I would pair up the 2 olive greens with the darker, more cool tone brown. But if I were to do an olive green look, I would probably pair it up with this one, or maybe the lighter one. I don't know. I'd pair it up with either one. It all depends on the mood, the kind of look that I'm going with. Today I'm going to do an ombre look, so I'm going to start lighter, go into the darker, and then go into the darker crease. But just based off of this palette alone, that is how I would do a look. So one look that I would do, I would take this shade as the transition shade, this shade is the crease shade, and then I'd pop this all over the lid. Boom, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's one complete look. The second look, I would do this shade in the crease, this shade, the maroon shade, and the socket as the kind of like crease shade to deepen and darken, and I'd pop the rose gold color all over the lid, and then take this shade, pop it in the inner corner as an inner corner highlight. And then a third look, I personally don't wear cool tone transition shades, so I would once again pair it up with this color. Then I would take the deeper, darker brown, and then I would pair one of these 2 lid shades on the lid. I hope that helps. I hope that I'm explaining it well enough for you guys, how to pair up eyeshadows out of one single palette. Personally, I like to kind of dibble in a couple different palettes, but I understand if you are buying one eyeshadow palette, you want to know how to use that one eyeshadow palette for a look. And this palette in general, you can get at least, what did I say? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can get at least 5 different looks out of it, and that's not even just using like the mattes or anything. That is pretty good for a 9-pan eyeshadow palette, because most of the times you get so many shimmers or not enough mattes or not enough shimmers or whatever. It's never like an even balance, and I honestly feel like Marlena made an even balance with this palette. So we're gonna go ahead. Oh, let me tell you guys how much it costs. So it is originally a retail price of $66, but it is on sale for $35. So let's do the math. So 35 divided by 9. So it's about $3.80, 89. So about $3.89 per eyeshadow, which I think Makeup Geek eyeshadows are about $6. So you're getting a steal, because 9 times 6 is 54. Yeah, you're getting a steal. I would think. Oh, but some of these are foiled. So you know what? Some of these are foiled. So I think the regular pans, like the matte, are 6, but I think the foiled ones are like 8 or 9, and I think the duochromes are like 10. Like, so I think they're a little more expensive for the foiled and the duochrome. But even if you guys don't purchase this palette, I definitely recommend you purchase some Makeup Geek shadows. Some of my favorites off the top of my hand, the duochrome Grandstand is one of my favorite. The foiled Grandstand, the foiled Jester. It's an olive green, so pretty. Grandstand is an is a rose gold. Americano, which is a deep dark maroon, Cherry Cola, which is a deeper darker maroon, Frappe transition shade, Cocoa Bear transition shade, all of those shades. Espresso, I think it is. Espresso is the deep dark brown, because dark roast isn't dark enough for me. Those are just some of the ones off the top of my head. I do know that she is rebranding, so might not be the same names. I know she was looking for names on Twitter, so they might not be the same names, but soon enough she'll let us know. But I'm gonna go ahead and prime my lid and get ready for eyeshadow, because we're already at 12 minutes. Oops. All right, welcome to my face. I am going to take the shade Amore. Oh, is it Amore? Yeah, Amore, right here. And I'm going to use that with a Sigma E35 eyeshadow brush and pop that into my upper crease. Now this shade isn't overly warm, which I know some people don't like to use really warm transition shades. This one isn't overly warm, but it's warm enough to where you get a nice hint of reddish brown. I actually really like this shade because it kind of reminds me of Frappe, which Frappe was like the perfect transition shade for when I wanted to do colorful looks. It's really, really, really nice. I actually really like this shade. So I'm just taking that as my crease. Next, I am going to take a Morphe M433 brush, and I'm going to take the shade Nightfall, which is right here. It's a deep, deep dark, like cool tone, like gray, brown, black. It's like that color, like if you were to mix black and brown together, kind of get this color. And I'm gonna just pack that into my outer corner. Make sure it's nice and dark. And then blend inward. So I am gonna take a little bit of the shade Cocktail, just a tiny bit, because I feel like that Nightfall shade is just a little dark. Yeah, just like kind of run it over the top just to help it transition from the transition shade to the crease shade, because I feel like the crease shade was just way too dark just to be by itself. And I'm honestly just tapping into the brush and tapping off the excess because I don't want it to be too maroon or too berry in the crease, but just enough to where it doesn't look super harsh. And now I'm just going back and just blending it out just so that way it's nice and diffused and it's not too harsh. And now I'm just going to take a little bit more of Nightfall and just go right into the socket of the crease. Alright, so I am going to cut my crease with, I'm actually going to use my ABH concealer in number 5 to do so. Alright, so now that the crease is cut, I am going to use a Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow brush. And this brush is specifically designed for foiled eyeshadows. And I am going to take the shade Masquerade right here. One thing I will say, a negative thing about the palette, is that there aren't any names on the bottom. I would much rather the shade be on the bottom. It's easier for me to explain it. It's easier for me to teach and do a tutorial with than on the back. But I do understand that a lot of people don't buy these palettes to do makeup tutorials with. They buy them for the enjoyment of their own, like themselves. So I do understand that, but I do wish that they were on the top. But I'm going to take the shade Masquerade and just take this out into the outer edge. And once again, super pigmented and buttery. Like, I just absolutely love these shades. Like, Makeup Geek has the best foiled eyeshadow formula. And they were like one of the first ones to do it. So, my hat's off to them. So, as you can see, I'm stopping like right about here. And just continuing to go over it so it has maximum pigmentation. And then I am going to flip the brush over and take the shade Bubbly, which is right here, which is like a lighter, more like silvery green. And just foil them together. And what I do is I take the eyeshadow and I start to kind of swipe sideways. And that creates the it diffuses the line of demarcation, so there's no more like a harsh line. And it's okay to swipe, because that's what I'm kind of doing. That's the motion that I'm kind of doing, is swiping and going over that Masquerade shade. And then what I'll do is flip my brush back over to the Masquerade shade and just kind of go back over it a little bit. Because you don't want Masquerade to be completely covered up by Bubbly. It's honestly just a bunch of back and forth and continuing to kind of look in the mirror, get closely, make sure that it's all blended together and everything looks good. And then you can kind of back up, check it out, and then say, Now I'm just taking a little more Nightfall and just feathering Masquerade out here. Just like that. Boom, bam. Thank you, ma'am. I think I might actually do, since I did use a little bit of that maroon, I was thinking about doing like a maroon liner. Because my nails, this is where I got my inspiration from, this color. So, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to do like a liner? Or do I want to do like a purple liner? Decisions. So I think I just might do black liner. This is the NYC liner, and just call it a day. Okay, so the lash is pretty like flimsy. Like the lash band isn't too like hard or anything like that. So actually pretty happy about that. I thought it would be like a little more stiff. I hate stiff lash bands. I feel like everyone does. But I'm just going to go ahead and pop some eyelash glue. I use the Brush On Duo Glue. It's like the best. And go ahead and pop the lash on. So it was actually fairly easy to put on. Like, it wasn't like a super tough lash. Like, it popped on fairly easy. So really excited about that. It is a really long lash though, so if you have really little eyes or anything like that, you will definitely have to cut these to like your length. But I have pretty big wide eyes, so no problem with that. Definitely transforms the eye. Like, I feel like without lashes, like, it just kind of looks like bland. Like, lashes are just like that necessary extra step, in my personal opinion, that you need to do to make the look good. Just my opinion. Okay, so of course the lip color of choice is going to be the nude one, and this one, what's the shade? Shade is not on. What? The shade isn't on the box at all. So I have no idea what color this is, but it's a part of the Healing Lip Trio. I'm just going to line my lips using my Clean Color Lip Liner in the shade Chestnut. Then I'm going to pop on the gloss. Like I said, I don't know what shade this is, so just going to pop it on. The applicator is actually pretty interesting. I've never seen an applicator like this where it has like a curve. So it just fits right onto the lip perfectly. Wow, it's a cool applicator. I actually really like it. So this color is fairly sheer. It doesn't give off like a lot of color, but it's definitely gonna be like a good color to keep in my purse to have. Really like it. So just in case you guys were interested in how the purple one looks, this is how it looks. So that one's actually pretty opaque. And then the pink one, I'm not a purple or pink girl. Like, definitely not like a bright pink girl like this one, but this one's a little bit more sheer, so it's something that I definitely think that I could get away with wearing. Like, if I just dabbed it in the center and kind of my lips together, but it's definitely not alone. This is what the nude one looks like without the lip liner. So that is what those three, don't mind my ashy arms, but that's what those three look like. So that, you guys, wraps up the look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the Masquerade palette. The eyelashes are nice and actually affordable. They're about $6, so they're about the price of Cocoa Lashes and I believe House of Lashes, unless they went up in price. Not 100% sure because I don't wear House of Lashes, but these definitely remind me of the iconic Lash, like where they start small and kind of go like longer. Really pretty, and I love the palette. Like I said, Makeup Geek eyeshadows are some of my favorite eyeshadows out there. Besides, so it would be like Makeup Geek, ABH, Tarte, and that's pretty much it. Like, my top like three would be Makeup Geek, ABH, and Tarte as far as single pans. I don't really like MAC single pan eyeshadows. I have a ton of them, but you never see me use them because I'm just not the biggest fan of them. ColourPop single eyeshadows or eyeshadows in general are nice, but they're not like, oh my gosh, let me use some ColourPop eyeshadows. Dose of Colors generally has really good shadows, like in the Francation palette, really good shadows. They're foiled, or they're like shimmery shadows, kind of remind me of the Dose of Color or the Makeup Geek formula, but I like the Makeup Geek formula. I feel like the payoff is a lot better with the Makeup Geek one as opposed to the Dose of Colors, but those are definitely like my top three favorite eyeshadow formulas. I do have an affiliate link down below, so if you do decide to purchase anything from Makeup Geek, just come back to my channel. You can go to any video. It is down in the description box, and you can check that out and use that. And if you do, you save me, or you save some coins and you give me some coins, because you know, getting married and it's not cheap. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you guys very soon. Mwah. Bye.